Hello. In this scenario, we're going to look at how to combine operational insights with data analysis, predictive analysis, and surface it up to the end user where it's going to make the most difference for them and your organization. In other scenarios, we talked about data integration, process orchestration, the aggregation of data analytics, and how to pull all those things together. And today we're going to talk about how to actually show that up to the end user. And so let's get a little bit of a frame of reference here. So in the put it forward insights and metrics engines, there's really kind of three things that are happening inside the core engine and then how it's actually being surfaced out to the end user. And let's take a moment just to orient around that. First off is that the AI engines and data mining are continuously working with the data that's flowing through the pipes and in the underlying systems and mining that for key events and process triggers that need to be surfaced up to an end user. Now, this can operate a data flow or a process, but it can also surface up a key insight that should trigger someone to take a closer look at actually what's going on. Now, these can be delivered out via dashboards, alerts, notifications, trigger events inside of systems, and that's outside of the scope of today's conversation. Typically, though, in the scenario here, who you may be actually working with this is a lead data analyst, and that person is assessing the data needs, working on the data process, how to aggregate the data together, tweaking the algorithms, understanding the data models, et cetera, that need to be tuned in order to get the insights surfaced in the way that you need them to. And it could be a separate person here as an analyst themselves that's testing and modeling and working with the data and continuously making sure everything is running. Now, what's also different in this scenario here is the surfacing of the data. So rather than it being pushed out into reports that happen on an arbitrary basis, once a day, once a week, once a month, et cetera, um, insights here can actually be surfaced right up at the moment that they need to be acted on at the point of observation. Now, these can be delivered via dashboards, again, reports or alerts or insights, etc. How this all works, though, is by the connection of put it forward into the underlying data systems and the systems of record that you're actually working with here. Now, those systems of record can be operational data stores, applications, online services, on-premise applications, et cetera. They can be all working together in concert, which is not an uncommon scenario. In addition to this, this also gives you the ability to localize reporting and focus and drill down into other scenarios. So let's take a look at how this actually looks in an operational context. Flipping over into a popular CRM system, we're going to take a look at a test user, which happens to be myself in this case here. And we're going to look at what some of these operational insights and analytics look like when they are surfaced up to an end user. Now, this is an example of a application which we call Put It Forward's Foresight. It's embedded inside of the environment. It's completely configurable, and this just happens to be the one that's oriented and orchestrated for our particular needs here. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of predictive analytics solutions, et cetera, out there. And really what needs to happen is like, well, how do we turn that engine into something that people can act on? In our case here, when we have people that are, customer facing, they are going to be looking to say, well, what's the probability that someone is even going to respond to me here? How do they feel? What's their sentiment? Are they happy about us? Are they unhappy about us, et cetera? And what's the probability that they'll actually engage with us? Um, and then what is it that they're actually doing when they are engaging with us here? This particular person, myself, happens to fill in a lot of forms, it looks like in the past. But also, we were sending him emails. What do those emails look like? When are they clicking on them? Are they visiting the website? Are they actually filling in these forms, etc.? All this information can be surfaced up to the end user. Now, combining that with what the probability is of how they're going to act with what they've actually engaged with also works in concert with some traditional kind of forms of operational metrics. In this case here, it's a sales oriented function, so we want to understand what the revenue potential is and what the revenue history is of this individual, how they're engaging with us by channel, um, using traditional kind of old school lead and marketing based analytics. What's their lead score look like, or their behavior or firmographic or demographic views? Now, the point of this exercise here is to show what the potential is of being able to bring analytics directly out to the end user. There certainly are automated functions and process triggers, et cetera, which are outside of the scope of this discussion, and we've covered in other demonstration scenarios, either around analytics or integration or process automation. And I encourage you to take a look at those. But thank you very much for your time and attention today. If you would like any more information, go to putitforward.com and hit the contact button. Thank you very much. Bye bye.